Good afternoon, folks. I'm just going to take a quick look at markets, a rundown of how some of the pairs are looking right now post the Fed and everything we got yesterday. Going to start with dollar yen here. We've got what is potentially a break in the recent range. We've had an area around 112 that I've been watching a long time, and it's been one of those levels that's held all the way back to sort of September, October. We've had a breakthrough, obviously, over the Fed into this morning. That's continued further past this next level at 111.75, which again, as you can see, is another S&R area that we've had resistance back into August, September, and then we got the break above, and that area became support around there. We've seen it touch through. We've had a couple of blips through it, but the price hasn't held below there, so it hasn't confirmed the break at all when we've had the bounces. What we're looking at here today, right now, going into the fix, we're seeing a bit of a dollar bid, but we're holding below this 75 level, and that could be fairly important. Even if we get above then, we've still got a chance of holding below the 112 area. Again, that's going to signal that we're perhaps breaking this range and we're going to head further down. So something to keep an eye on as the days wear on. Obviously, we're going to have probably a pretty quiet day tomorrow. Because it is the day before the sort of holiday season, so we're going to find markets liquidity dropping again and thinning out, and people heading to the pubs and clubs. So perhaps we may not get some moves, but today dollar yen's been in one of its grind phases where it just carries on going and going in one direction with very little recourse. So that's one pair to look at there. Next pair we're going to move on to is euro dollar. We've had a test of the highs up towards the 115 area, but we just couldn't quite manage it. We've come up close to this November high here, but we're just shy of this big 115 level that I've been watching for a while again. My range, as you can see on the charts, is between 112 down here and up at this 115 area. I've been banging on about it for a long time. So we've had this attempt up here, and yet again we've seen a failure. We've headed back down. We've gone through this 30-40 area, which has been several times has been support, has been resistance. Sorry, and it hasn't taken much to come back below. This was an area I was looking at earlier today. This 40 level, to say if this rally is going to hold, then it needs to stay above this 40 area. If it doesn't, the chances are that the levels around here don't look that strong. And here we go back down to 114.10, perhaps worse. We've held up, just looking at the short-term chart, we've held up right now at 114 even. So that is the another level, as we can see here, that's had action. Again, it keeps the rally in play. Staying above 114 keeps the rally in play, but then we're going to find ourselves ping-ponging between 40 and 00 again until we get a break either way, and then that move's resolved. If it comes below 114, then we're right back into the 113s and messing around down here. Quick look at cable. Again, we've had a look at the highs. We've matched the high from earlier in the week, but it's failed. And again, we're seeing the price all the way down again. We are hearing that there's been quite a bit of Brexit selling. People who like to hit the rallies, and it's coming back down again. That's what we're seeing again today. We've got this trend line down here that shows how these highs keep getting hit, but we can't knock what the rally that's happened off the bottom here. But what's happening is we're still back in this short-term range, and whatever's happened over the Fed, we haven't broken any big ground. And that's the key thing for me. We had a pretty big meeting yesterday. The market was geared up for plenty of volatility. We've had the bit of volatility, but the reality is that we're not seeing any real range breaks. The only one we've got, as pointed out a moment ago, was dollar yen. That's really the only one that's looking like it could show a proper break, but obviously we wait for that to be confirmed. But the other pairs, we're all in well-trodden ranges, and I personally can't see anything happening between now and the new year to break that, especially not tomorrow, last day before the Christmas break, even though we are markets are open on the 24th, but you're going to find a lot of traders are taking that day off. So that's a quick view of the markets at the moment. To be honest, I've been pretty knackered today. It's been a long old eventful week, so I've got one eye on the holidays as well. Going to give me a chance to refresh the batteries, come back fresh and new for the new year. But in the meantime, you know, stick to the levels that we see, stick to intraday levels. It's not really worth getting into anything too heavy this close to the holidays, because, you know, we can have quiet periods, and you know, that lack of liquidity in those holiday times can be choppy for markets. So we'll just carry on watching levels and see if we can nick a few pips between now and the end of tomorrow. So that's a look at the markets quickly there.